fall to 24-19, losing their third consecutive game. So a season-low 87 points for Miami and a season-low 37.5% shooting for the Heat.
48 hours later.
As reported by Adrian Wojnarowski, the Hornets are trading Terry Rozier to the Heat for a 2027 first-round pick and Kyle Lowry.
Scary Terry, scary Terry. Oh, I can hear the chants now. I can hear the chants now. Man, it happened. The Heat made a trade. Kyle Lowry, gone. Terry Rozier to the Heat for a first round pick. And Kyle, I don't know how that stuff works. Go look at Maria and Wojnarowski. Go look at those guys. I don't know the details. You see the name of this channel. All I know is that we got Terry Rozier. I'm having a horrible day. Horrible day. I hurt my shoulder doing push-ups. I hurt my calf doing playing basketball. I'm sitting in the dentist parking lot at 7:15 in the morning. That's miserable. And I'm feeling sorry for myself. And I'm looking at my phone. And then all of a sudden, I see it. Boom. Terry Rozier to the Heat. It happened. Been on the Terry train. I know my last video was called DeJounte Murray, you're hired. And within the context of the times of, DeJounte hitting that game winner shot, at that point, I was like, fine. Bring him on in, baby. I love Terry Rozier. Let me read you. You don't believe me. I have receipts. I'm not going to put my Twitter. I don't want you guys knowing my Twitter. December 13th, 2023. Terry Rozier out here auditioning to be on the Miami Heat. December 13th. Terry Rozier deserves to be on a better team. January 17th. Please, Terry Rozier to the Heat. Now. And I put a picture of us down 36 to the Raptors. Down 56-20. I'm sitting there, boy, we could use Terry Rozier right now. Boom! Happened. And my awful day, and my stupid shoulder, my stupid strained calf, and my terrible dentist nonsense turned into a bright, sunny day now with Scary Terry to the Miami Heat. Awesome. And there's so much going on in the NBA today. It's crazy. Look at my notes here. I got the Bucks coach got fired. Tristan Thompson's on steroids. Ime Udoka has to pay $32,000 a month in child support. Duncan Robinson on the short list for Team USA along with 4 Heat players. Baby might be 5 with Terry. Jimmy, Bam, Tyler, Duncan, all on the list for potential Team USA at the Olympics this year. I think that this is exactly what this team needed right now. Things felt really, really stagnant these last few games. You've seen all these videos I've had this whole season. I'm like a broken record. I'm like, when we're healthy. Then all of a sudden we get healthy and we stink. There's certain guys that you could just feel like, I could see that guy in a Heat uniform, and he's one of those guys. And I always compare the Heat to, like, especially this iteration of the Heat, as like a bunch of pirates. And what a starting lineup this could be. Like Jimmy, Bam, Tyler, Jaime, and Terry. I mean, that's a bunch of pirates right there. You could just see them with like an eye patch and a parrot and a sword and swinging on a rope to like invade your ship and steal your booty and make you cry and all that stuff. What a lot of people are saying is that this, having Terry there, will take pressure off of Tyler having to handle the ball, and he can do more off-ball stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for it. And I think a guy like him, he'll breathe new life into the team, like how Kevin Love did last year when we were kind of like stagnant and stale and had that malaise going, and you could just tell there was no, synergy and connectivity with the team. You could watch a good team that's like clicking and doing well, and there's whatever you want to call it, a vibe and energy. And this team, the last whatever it's been this week or so, it's just been off. And the Kyle thing has ran its course. And I'm not a Kyle. I'm not an anti-Kyle guy. I'm not one of these Kyle haters. I've never said anything bad about Kyle in any of my videos, but I get why it's, to some people, how it can be interpreted as being disappointing because of how much money he got and all that stuff. With Kyle, we were one shot away from making it to the NBA Finals, and then made it to the NBA Finals. And there were ups and downs with Kyle. You gotta remember too, guys, you know, he's gonna be 38 years old in a couple months. I mean, the fact that he's even in the league at this point is crazy. To be 6 feet tall, 37, 38 years old, and playing with these giants out there is mind-blowing. I mean, I can't even play basketball without breaking my calf. This guy's out here, you know, playing against Jason Tatum. He started off last season really good, and then kind of the same thing happened now. He played a lot, got hurt, started playing bad, but then last playoffs, he really came through in the playoffs last season when everybody had written him off. I mean, everybody thought he was going to be gone last year by the trade deadline, and he was bad, and everybody was trashing him really badly, like worse than now. And he came back and was solid through the playoffs, and he was solid this season up until you know, up until like what, mid-December or so. I defend Kyle to a fault, probably. You know, and I enjoyed watching him play when he was playing well, but I totally understand the argument of the lack of productivity, the ups and downs, and he's old and he's just not productive sometimes, oftentimes lately. And but it ran its course. The whole thing definitely ran its course. You know, you got rid of him, gave him a first-round pick, and we got a really productive guy in Terry Rozier, who's having a great season. He's averaging, I don't know, 20-something a game. He kills us every time we play the Hornets. Terry Rozier kills us. I'll run down the stats of what he's done to us just this year. He has good playoff experience with the Celtics, and he's a guy who got stuck on this bad team who I really think deserves better at this point. He's 29, he's a good player. He's always had a fascination with the Heat. Dwayne Wade has always been one of his best players, so that's really cool. He has an emotional connection to Heat culture and all that. He's done a jersey swap with Dwayne Wade, so he aspires to that mindset. He's 29, he was stuck on a bad team for the last few years, but he's having a really good season. And now he has a chance to like really take his career to the next level, can compete for a championship. It might not be perfect right off the bat. So remember what happened when James Harden went to the Clippers. Didn't work right away. Everybody was trashing him, trashing the Clippers, laughing at them, and now look at the Clippers. So, you know, if we lose to the Celtics this week and Terry Rozier doesn't have a great game, don't start trashing the guy. It might take a few games for them to learn how to play with each other and learn the chemistry and their dynamic and all that stuff. Because you gotta remember now, between Terry, Jimmy, Bam, Tyler, now you got 4 guys that are 20+ point per game scorers. So it might take some time. It's something new. It's something fresh. This team you felt it. This kind of stagnant malaise that's been going on with the team. And the Kyle thing, as much as I like Kyle, it's obviously ran its course. With the whole story with he's not starting and all that stuff. We don't need to get into all that. So let's look at what Scary Terry has done to the Heat this season. December 11th, we won by 2, and Terry had 34 points and 13 assists. And played 39 minutes. Okay, that's ridiculous. Then on, 2 days later? So 2 days later, remember, this is 2 days later after 34 and 13. The Heat on December 12th, that practice and those meetings and those tape was gauged around, hey, we only beat the Hornets by 2. We need to stop Terry Rozier. And what did Terry do? We still won. But Terry had 28 points and 7 assists. And then last week when we played the Hornets, we blew them out. And they only had 87 points. Terry Rozier still had 26 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. So this dude's legit. A Heat killer this year for sure. And he has nice assists. A lot of assists I see he's getting as well. Another thing that I'll post in the comments, and I'll pin it. Really good thread that Brady Hawk did. Really sharp Heat insider guy. He reports for the Heat. Sharp kid. He posted a really good thread of Terry Rozier and how beneficial he could be to each player. For example, how he says, split actions like this for Rozier will be a huge piece of the offense. Bam, Butler, Hawkes, anybody can set it up. But Jimmy Butler in that mid-post with Rozier, a pass away is an easy trigger. If they double, Rozier loves those 4-on-3s with backside dimes. Spo should like this, and he has a video. So it's a whole thread of really interesting stuff like that. Another big question is, are we going to make more trades before the trade deadline? There is a potential for more trades to happen. I don't know. I don't know that stuff. I don't know about these aprons and salary caps and deadlines and CBA, and it makes my head spin. Go look at see what I'm sure the Locked On Heat guys, they're really good with all that stuff. The five reason sports guys, they're all those whiz kids over there that know that stuff. What will happen with Caleb Martin? What will happen with Josh Richardson, Thomas Bryant? I don't know. The Caleb Martin thing, his contract is expiring. It's good that we finally made a move. You see all these teams making moves out here. The Knicks and the Pacers and the Raptors, and the Bucks made moves over the summer, and the Celtics made moves over the summer, and we were kind of, stagnant. I know he's a little bit on the smaller side. Some people are saying his defense isn't that great, but he adds scoring, which is good, and I'm sure his defense isn't that bad. And if anybody can get some defense out of a player, it's Spoelstra. And the next guy we trade for, if you got someone like Terry Rozier, I would assume you would get someone with some size, bigger guy, more of a power forward kind of thing, someone to get in there with Bam, someone to contend with these giants out in the West. So that's it. I was having an awful day. Now my day isn't as awful. So thank you to the Miami Heat front office for making this trade. Scary Terry in the house. I like how he looks in a Heat uniform, man, and he adds like an edge to the team. He has a kind of I like an intimidating Miami Heat team. Because when I grew up watching Miami Heat, it was Alonzo Mourning and PJ Tucker and tough, scary guys like that. And I like a Miami Heat team that has like an edge to it. And like I said, I gotta start that starting lineup with whether it's like Jaime and Tyler and Jimmy and Bam and Terry. That's a rough looking bunch of dudes, and it gives us a good edge. And once those guys figure it out and they click together, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, that's about it.